Well, hello, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Ross. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Marketing and Program Coordinator for Community Futures North Caribou, and I have with me today Bill Quinn. Bill is a professional certified coach, a certified executive coach, and a registered professional forester retired. So with over 40 years of being a leader and developing leaders, both in industry and government, Bill's career has evolved from growing trees to growing leaders and organizations. So welcome, Bill.
Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. Great to be here. Great to chat with you today. Looking forward to it. Um, I guess just a little bit more information about me is that I have been in northern BC for the first 40 years of my career, mainly in forestry. And then the last 10, 12 years, I went more into leadership development. My time was spent both in consulting forestry and also in senior management roles within government. And and then when I left government, I became an entrepreneur and started up my own business doing, as Elizabeth said, as you said, the uh, growing leaders and organizations. So
Oh,
I look
excellent.
forward. I'm looking forward to working with Community Futures over the next little while with this program.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we are certainly pumped. So what Bill is going to be heading up is the peer mentoring program. So stay with us and you're going to get some really great information about this program, what it has to offer, and how it's going to benefit you as a business. So we'll start off the hop with, Bill, can you paint a picture of what the peer mentoring program looks like, what it is, who it's for?
Yeah, sure. Well, okay. So imagine this: if you were to close your eyes for a few minutes and picture yourself over the next few months sitting in a virtual room with a number of different other business owners, and you're talking to each other, and somebody, myself, is helping to facilitate the conversation. But just picture yourself being able to ask some questions about some of the challenges you're being faced with, and and being able to get some responses from other people who have probably been there. Um, Most people say that the most valuable advice they get is when they have that opportunity to chat with people who are in very similar to positions as they are. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah. So the
Mhm.
idea then is that you get this chance. We can't meet in person anymore, which we used to do a lot, but now we will meet virtually. We'll set it up so that people feel like they're safe. They're able to speak what's on their mind. There's a level of confidentiality in the room, and people are able then to share. Okay, so I've got this problem. What do I? How's anybody? Has anybody else faced this? And what do you think you can? What thoughts might you have? And and then other people in the room then are able to offer up what their learnings are, what their advice is, for you to think about, and think about how you're going to make some changes. And then think about another few weeks from now, you're going to get together again, event virtually again,
Mhm.
and be able to share with them how successful you were, or some of the challenges you had with what you did try. And so it creates some accountability in it too, because even though nobody reports to anybody,
Right.
um, there is some implied accountability, saying, geez, I'm meeting with my group, and I said I'd do this, and now I better do it. So
Excellent. Oh,
yeah.
that's fantastic. That sounds great. So, but I gotta say, so as a business owner, I might be concerned about sharing strategies with a business that could be my competitor, being that it's a rural, being hosted in rural communities. So, how will this be addressed? How will you deal with that?
Well, it is a really good point, and there have been a number of different groups, like, both CEO groups and, business leader groups, that type of thing. And one of the key principles when you pull these types of groups together is that you make sure that there's non-competitors
Mm,
in the room, so that if my business is a competitor, direct competitor of somebody else, we would not put them in the same group. If we And so that all happens in the sorting situation. when we start
Okay.
sorting out the groups. So we'll have so many applicants, we'll be able to try and put them in the best group fit that we can. And we're not limited anymore by where we live, so that we could actually
Right.
have the potential to have somebody from Mackenzie and somebody from, let's say, Merritt or Cache Creek
Hmm.
could be in the same room. Now, those people, they might be able to have the same business together. But in general, you try, especially if it's a number of people from Williams Lake or Quesnel or wherever, you tend not to put them in the same room together when they're direct competitors. And that way, the the key thing is that there's an agreement of confidentiality right at the start within the groups, so that um, the expectation is if you are in the room with somebody and but you have another business in town that's a direct competitor, you're actually sworn to the confidentiality of what's said in the room is stayed in the room. I always call that the Vegas rule, so that what's said in Vegas stays in Vegas. So
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
yeah, so that's what we do, is that we try and sort the groups together so that there's no competitors in the same group. And we also then, the potential for competitors, we would always ask first before we put any potential competitors together to make sure that, are you guys a good fit if you're 300 kilometers apart? Is it still a good fit? Other than that, we would try and keep that non-competitor uh, principle front and center.
Perfect. Yeah,
Let the
that
group
makes perfect sense. And certainly being a part will help that for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So as a business, so what can I expect to get out of this program? What are the key benefits for me?
I would say first and foremost is you get tried and true answers to your questions from people who have lived through it. So that's first and foremost. That's the first part of it. I think some of the other things that you get is now you're going to meet some other owners and business leaders, sometimes in your community and sometimes out of your community. So you're going to increase your network. And we all know that and in this time, being able to network has always been a challenge. And if you can increase your network, especially across different business lines, now you've got the opportunity for somebody to be able to refer someone to you also too. So you create those connections to increase your network. There's also the potential to develop a support system afterwards. So this program is completed by March 31st. We're very clear about that. However, there could be opportunities that you might say, I know you and we worked together during this time. I think we should keep talking and set up your own chat time on a monthly basis or whatever works for you.
Right.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's really great. They'll be able to keep that network going.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're going to make connections in there that you're going to hit it off. Sometimes you might not hit it off as well, but certainly you will. My experience has always been that people, within groups, you'll start seeing certain people aggregate together. So, and they'll be able to, the strong connections usually start holding for a long time. Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you said that this goes till March 31st. So let's talk about that for a little bit. So there's definitely a time commitment involved here. So what should participants expect to commit to? And how is that all going to work?
Okay. So what will happen is that first you'll put in the application. So the application form is relatively simple, I think. And you should be able to complete it within half an hour. Once you're accepted into the program, because we are going to be limited to how many people we can provide intake to, then myself will be interviewing you for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour prior to any meetings happening, just to get a sense of your business, just to get an idea of what your key challenges are, because I would use that information then to be able to, and we can use that information, to actually start sorting the groups out, making sure that we have similar businesses in size, etc., and desires in the same grouping. And also, so it allows us to sort better. And then also you would provide some information that we'd be able to develop the themes with. So of, where people, if people don't want to talk, well, what about this? This is what I heard in the themes. So it gives us a little bit of ammunition to be able to sort of throw out there and say, this is what everybody told you. This seems to be a common thread. Let's talk about that. So that's 30 to 60 minutes is starting with that. And then depending on what the groups want to do, there will probably the first couple of meetings, there'll probably be about 2-hour meetings on Zoom. The advantage of this is that you're going to be just sitting in your office or at your home or wherever it's convenient for you to be able to carry out the Zoom meeting. You don't have to travel anywhere. So there's a lot less time going to be involved on your part. So tentatively, we've set it up to have Zoom meetings every 2 weeks for 2 hours. The group, though, might decide that maybe to start with, we might want to go, a little bit faster, maybe every week for just a couple of times, just to sort of get us going properly. But then generally it'll probably settle into 2 hours every 2 weeks. So 4 hours a month, right? For the privacy, security of your own office or home. So, and then we wrap up at the end of March. So.
Okay. And when does it start?
As soon as we get enough people into a group, we'll get it started. So we can get started. Hopefully the ads will start going out this week. And so early December, we're hoping to start getting things off the ground and being able to start the interviews early December and start meetings maybe mid-December, because then we're coming up into the Christmas season.
Right.
And
yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So we have to make sure we manage through that part of it also. But definitely then start up in January, and like I say, the meetings will all be Zoom. They're all online, and then I will be. There might be sometimes when you and I, as a business owner, you might want to chat with me in between, which we could take some time together and talk about that too. So. We're talking 4 hours a month, a little bit of prep time right at the start, and then maybe you have some questions that you might want to run by me in the interim in between those 2-week periods. But it just depends. It's very flexible in terms of what the group is going to want to do. But I would say that's a good budget to use.
Okay, great. So people can just grab their coffee and get that application filled out, spend half an hour into that for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if businesses have questions or they want to know more before they make this commitment to the program, can they contact you?
Absolutely.
Directly?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
I've been told that my contact info will be at the bottom of this video. You can also go on to the CF websites under the peer mentoring program, and my contact information will be there also. So.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, perfect. So this all goes through the Taking Care of Business program, and if anybody's wondering. So you will find this, all the information about this program and so much more, and you'll be able to meet Bill, get Bill's contact information on the takingcareofbusiness.biz website under the peer mentoring heading. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Bill. I really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. It was great chatting with you today. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. And
I will for sure. It looks like it's beautifully sunny there.
It is. It is. I got a bit of a gleam going on. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
so
that's great. We've got like clouds and kind of can't decide if it's going to snow or rain. It's just kind of sitting there in the loon. So I'm envious of your sunshine.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm enjoying it. So stay safe.
Excellent. Thanks, Bill. You too.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.